Hi, welcome back to another live stream and also to the channel, of course. Today I was a little bit late because I had some preparation to do and I lost some time. So I lost the time, so I didn't know that it was time to start the stream. My apology for that, but never mind. I will cut that after the live stream, so nobody will notice that, even if I say it now. Welcome back to the channel, of course. And today I'm going to compare two synths, and in this case, two monophonic synths, a real hardware analog synth, and a plugin that I'm not so familiar with before, but I came across on that plugin, and I was quite surprised by the sound. So I thought, why not just compare that sound with the real thing, and does it match, yes or no? Because there is always discussion between analog and digital. Analog, digital. Does the digital sound as good as an analog? Yes, no. There are lots of opinion, and I think everybody's taste is different, so you cannot discuss about that for hours and days, but just comparing, and you can hear it for yourself which one sounds better or does it match. It's not about better sounding in this case for me, it's just how close can the plugin comes to the real synth, the analog synth. So for the plugin, I choose today to use the Broken Mini as a recreation, or also a simulation of the famous Mini Moog, a monophonic analog synthesizer with 3 oscillators and the famous Moog ladder filter, of course, and I have in my case, like as you see in the other cam, the Moog Mother-32, and the Moog Mother-32 is normally it has the same ladder filter as the Mini Moog. It has the same oscillator waveforms as the Mini Moog, only it has less than on the Mini Moog. Mini Moog had more. It has on the Mini Moog you have the triangle sawtooth, then the square wave, a pulse wave, and then a narrow pulse wave. On this synthesizer, the Mother-32, you have that sawtooth also, and you have the pulse wave, and you can also go to the square wave, but you can go also to a pulse wave. So that's also the same thing. Normally they are the same, and the filter is the same filter than on a Mini Moog. On a Mini Moog, it's a 24 dB ladder filter that it is on the Mother-32 and also on the Mini Moog. So you can compare those if you use only that. What you have on the Mother-32, you don't have that on the Mini Moog, is that you don't have a high pass filter here on the Mini Moog, so we don't use that. What you also don't have on the Mother-32, but you have that on the Mini Moog, are the 2 oscillators, but we are not going to use that. So we are just using the waveforms. Compare those. We're gonna see that on the scope. Does the waveform match the waveform on both synths? And we are also going to compare the filter, of course. And then after that, we are going to create a sound with those 2, similar sound, and then we will see if we can match those 2 sounds. Do they sound exactly the same, or is there a difference? And then you can hear for yourself, does the plugin, a digital plugin, match the Mini Moog, or the Moog synth with the same filter, with the same oscillator. So that's what we are going to do today in this live stream. For all those who just came into the live stream and also to the channel, welcome, and feel free to leave a comment in the chat if you have a question. Just leave it in the chat. I will glad to help you and answer that if I can, of course. And if you if you can help me, maybe if I have a question, so we can also help each other. That's also the reason why we do those live stream here. So feel free, and also feel free just hello, say hello. That's also the same thing, or just like and subscribe, of course, if you like. And don't feel obligated. Just do it for free if you want. Let's get started. What I did, I opened this mini Moog here. My Mother-32 is also ready to start. And for those two, hi, Saint Fun, welcome back. How are you? Everything all right? Very well, very well. Nice, nice to ask. Well, I'm starting again a new live stream jam, no jams today, on one of those interesting plugins that I came by, and I want to compare that with my Mother-32, so we can hear if there is so much difference between a real, and I have two videos on my channel, one of the AXAP and also one of the DX7, that you can hear that there is almost no difference in analog or in digital, and those were also free plugins. So I think the technology is so far now that they can create some nice sounding digital synths, so you don't have to spend all that money for a synth. But in my opinion, also I love those hardware synths. So why? And also I love the play on them, and also the view of those synths. And sometimes it has something more. I don't know why, but sound wise, I think there are lots of alternatives that are exactly same sounding as those vintage and other synths that you can find today. But we have indeed here the Mother. Yes, you have a M32. The Mother-32 was normally it will sound very well, because I bought this one before I had the Prodigy, but the Prodigy had a significant sound. It's not the same as a mini Moog. It's more sharper, more in the mid-end, more aggressive. The Mother D is more the mini Moog. It's a mini Moog, but without other two oscillators, and of course without the keyboard bed and all the other things. So, and the different waveforms, of course, that you don't have here. It's just a minimal with a patch bay on, so you can create some interesting sound on this nice little synth, of course. And what I did also, so this is the mini Moog, of course. Then I have here also my mix table. I'm gonna turn this off. So in this case, this is the Broken Mini, and on each of those I have installed also I installed a scope and also a spectrum analyzer, so you can see and hear those sounds. First of all, I'm gonna tune the mini Moog. I tuned it when I started, so we can see for yourself, is this a very stable synth, yes or no? If I did that with the Model D at that time, it was out of tune. And after 10 minutes, again out of tune. And after 20 minutes, a little bit out of tune. And after 1.5 hours, a little bit out of tune. Then it stays a little bit stable, and at the end, a little bit again. This one stays tuned normally once you're set it right. So we're gonna see if it was just when I turn it on, I tune it, you see it's not in tune. Oh. It's so... Yes, I did it. You see how you must be very careful with this. It's very sensitive. There are some you can also adjust with some with your screwdriver. So that's also, but it's so sensitive. Now it will stay normally for a long time in tune because it's more than 5 minutes warm. Normally after 2-3 minutes on, it will stay tuned. So this one I must tune. The other one I don't have to tune, of course. This one is always in tune. But of course you don't hear it because it's turned off. Going higher. And I choose to use the pulse wave. That's the sound. Just hearing. But I must see if everything is so from the start I hear a difference. From the start. If I can set so it's nice tuned, but without any scope or something, you can hear there is a difference. There is more low end here, less high end, and more high end on the. So there is a difference in the sound. That's the first thing that I noticed. So the real Moog will sound more, I think, like this. Then there is a difference. So let's see in the scope how the waveforms are. This scope from the Mother-32. Nice waveform. If I make it a little bit bigger, scale it a little bit so you can see. Oh, that's too much. If I go lower, nice waveform. Nice square wave. And that's for the Mother-32. Let's go to the Broken Mini. We're going also one first high, like I did it. I must set it here so you can see it also. They are not so straight as the Mother-32. And that sharpness is gone. You don't have that. You don't have that here. So that's the difference. And it's also, so it's not a straight line. If I go back to the scope of the Mother-32, going back higher, you hear it more in the high end sharpness of that, and it's straight. There is always a little delay, so that's normal when I'm coming into the mixer. It's analog. Instead, the other one is digital, so it's directly. But with analog, it must there is a small delay on it always. So Motor-32 is more sharper. You see it also, that's more straight line instead of this one is more go back round from above. So, and the low pass filter is also, there is no high pass because I won't use that here. Everything is set as normal. There is a difference. Once again, you see it in the wave form. That's more, the square is more straighter than on the broken mini. And that gives a difference in the sound. That's our first thing that we notice. Let's go to the spectrum analyzer. This one is for the Mother-32. I'm going to make it big so you can see it also. Let's see. It starts from something more than 500k, 500 hertz to 20k. It's high here on the 20k. So let's hear the other one. What it does, spectrum analyzer for the it's a little bit slow. Don't need that. I don't need this one. Yes. So let's play the same note. Directly you see difference, a big difference here. You see all those gaps, that means it loses all those frequency in the sound. And that's why that you hear difference. I'm not a specialist in programming those sounds, but I think maybe if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it has to do with programming those frequencies to create that sound that is almost exactly the same, but you hear difference. So you see all those gaps between, all those gaps, all the frequency that are not just the fundamentals are that you see here. And here, difference between that and the analog. Okay, you have in the beginning the same, but at the end, you have also other frequencies that you don't have that. There are more frequencies that you can hear here than only the fundamentals, and here you have only the fundamentals. I think that you can hear. Oh, that was the wrong one. This one is a je. And that's why that you're here, that the Mother-32 is more sharper and more sound in the high end than on the low end. This one is, it match here in the mid zone, mid tones, but when you're going higher, it loses high because there are some frequencies are missing at the end. Certainly here. And do you have that when I'm doing once again for the Mother-32? How many that has? So that's the first difference between the analog and the digital. So in my case, I hear the analog. There is more frequency that you can hear in this analog waveform than on that of the broken mini. So there is a difference. That's 1-0 for the analog. Go now to the sawtooth. Just look at the sawtooth. We will first see on the scope what it does. I'm gonna change that also here on the sawtooth. And let's see the scope first. Nice sounding sawtooth, and also the waveform is nice. Not so can change a little bit of the time, I think. Make it bigger. Oh, otherwise, excuse me. So you can see the waveform back. Yes. A little more bigger. So that's now going to the other one. To the scope also of my Mother-32. And also make it a little bit bigger here. So I'm reducing the time and that's too much. A little more. Smaller, please. In this case, to be honest, I don't hear a difference. I don't hear any difference. And I see also no specific changes in the waveform. It matches almost the same. Maybe a sawtooth is easier to program than. So same thing once again to the scope of the broken mini. If you're hearing the same sound or if you're hearing difference, I must, if I close my eyes, I don't think I will know which one I play. So for me, that sawtooth is perfect, exactly the same sound. Does it match also in the spectrum analyzer? Let's see, starting with this one. That's a Mother-32. All those fundamentals that you see. Then going to the broken mini. So we can see everything. And in this case, it comes close. Going back here. Oh, I'm on the mini, excuse me. But not the scope, I need the spectrum analyzer. Oh, I see what I did. Oh, it's the same thing. Let's see what it does. So if I recapitulate, and I'm gonna give you what if I analyze it like that, I see that the pulse wave or the square wave is not the same sound. There is more high end in the square than on the plugin, but sawtooth are matching almost exactly the same, even when you're watching it on the spectrum analyzer, that it matches very well. So your ear can filter those sounds, can hear those frequencies. If were gone here, in the end you will hear it. then it will be less brighter. But for this one, it's same thing. And the spectrum analyzer show that also. Maybe I'm gonna see one thing that I hear maybe different. Let's here when the low end, the mid range, minus 18 dB on a frequency of 453 hertz. That's the, and in this one on this one is more. Let's see here. Identical, but lower even. Minus 24 dB, and this one goes higher. That machine, maybe it depends on the volume, of course, that I set the synths on. Spectrum is same thing here. Let's hear again. So strange. How many differences in sound? So strange. So to match that volume of the analog, must go to 24, minus 24 here, and the other one was minus 18, but it will sound much higher, I think. So I can match the volume of that thing a little bit less. Almost. And this one is for the, and then the Hmm, 24. It was otherwise. Less. So you see, if I go to minus 24, it will be so strange. Leave it like that. In the middle, that's almost the same volume. So sawtooth matches perfectly with this one. Square misses some frequencies in the high end, and that you hear that when I play it. So there is a difference in sound only in the square wave. So what do we also have? The filter, of course, and that's also very important. It has a low end filter. Can I have here a drone? I said I don't think so. I cannot make a drone here, so it will stay on always. In this case, I can do it with my Mother-32. Well, what I can do is I can play the Mother-32. Hi, welcome, Seb. Then 5,854. Welcome. Bonjour. Welcome back, of course. Now I remember you. I think you're from Luxembourg, I don't think. Was that so? How do you do? Comment ça va? To try to compare those filters, I'm going to use my drone here, my amplifier, so it stays on. Ah oui, de Paris. C'était quelqu'un d'autre qui était de Luxembourg. Banlieue, oui, oui. Bienvenue. Deuxième fois, je crois. Si je me rappelle. Seb is here for a second time, I think. It's from Paris, yes. Seb from Paris. We are comparing those two monophonic analog hardware synth with the plug-in version, and as still we found just the similar sound in the sawtooth, but not in the square because there are some frequencies that are out. Ah, 3 times. Okay, better then. I hope you enjoyed. If you have a question, just leave it in the chat. Just ask it. No problem. That's why we are here also. Troisième fois. Bienvenue la troisième fois. We are going to try the filter out. So we're going... That's just turning off the cutoff, and you will see all those. Welcome, Ezequiel. I think I saw you sometime. You were here also. Is it good? What do you mean? Is it good or not? The first waveform, the pulse or the square wave is it sounds good, but it's more in the low end, less high end sound in that they're missing some frequencies. But on the sawtooth, it's exactly the same. I'm fine. How are you? Ezequiel, how are you too? Also fine? I hope so. I can translate that in French if you like, of course. Les fréquences, ils sont dans le square wave, ils sont pas les mêmes comme dans le sawtooth. Le sawtooth, il est presque exactly la même chose, mais le square, il n'est pas la même chose. Il y a pas beaucoup des sons en haut dans le plugin que dans le Mother-32. Dans le Moog, il y a plus de high-end que dans le plugin. So, ça veut dire que c'est pas bas, mais c'est aussi pas... Ça dépend quand on va utiliser le filtre. Je crois ça va être différent dans le son. Mais on va voir. Excuse me, so I translate that for Seb because he's from Paris and he doesn't always understand every word that I say. Maybe I'm going to articulate better and talk slower. Maybe that will help also. In my opinion, it sounds very good. I like the sound of that. It has lots of low end. But in this case, I'm not saying it's good or bad. It just, does it match the analog synth? Does it match that? And until now, for one waveform, it does that. For the other one, it was a little bit different. Now we are going to test the filter, see if the response is the same thing. And that's also one of the most important things, that the filter must sound exactly the same. And we are going to do the sound test then on the sawtooth, because the sawtooth... you speak in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. No habla español. Excuse me. I understand a little bit of Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish. And where are you from? Le SE, c'était un vintage. Roland SE02, was that a vintage synth or is it a new synth? Because we'll look it up here. I thought it was a... I'm gonna look it here up so I can... okay, I see what it's an analog synth, yes. That's a boutique version of... but that's a... okay, I see it. I was looking at the Roland SA2 now. That's almost similar as the Moog. It's a sort of mini Moog. Clone of the mini Moog, yes, I saw it. And what are your experiences with those synth, with that synth specifically? Et votre expérience avec cette synth, c'était bien ou non? Was it a good synth? No? What do you think? Which do you prefer, the Mother-32 or the Roland? But they're not the same because you have 3 oscillators instead of 1. But the filter, you can... That's what I'm trying to compare this today. Those filters, of course. And I'm going to start it, the filter, of course, here. Otherwise, let me know. So I'm going to start the filter here. Using the sawtooth. One quarter. I'm going halfway. Oh, 1 quarter. And then halfway and then open, full open. Just half. When you're using half open, you can hear it more faster than 1 quarter. I'm going to do the same thing here, but here it's different because, but I'm going to try to, let me set this first, to use my Modo2 as my keyboard, so I can normally, no, it cannot because there is only an in. What I can make a track here, so it will go always on. Don't need that. That's too long. Make it smaller. Just 3 is more than enough. That's the note that I need. So let's play it and we will see what it does. So I can do the same thing now. Halfway. You notice there directly something. I'm gonna do this one. It's open also, so you can hear it without looking at our spectrum. You can hear that sound. First of all, it doesn't do it in steps. It's gradually, so it goes without those steps. Here, it's always with those steps. You can hear it. So that swipe, you don't have that here. And I think that the amount is not the same. I think this one is then. And here. Sound-wise, it's okay. I think the sound it matches. But if I go here, I'm gonna take a little bit less because it's loud, this one. A little bit less. That's the Mother-32, a little bit higher. I think this one is that's now the Mother-32. Oh. That's a Moog. And that's oh, what? Oh, okay. And that's the Moog. It's much quieter than this one. It stays in volume. This one. I think this one matched like that. Just a little bit more than 1/4 open. But it jumps always. It jumps. Even less. Plug in. Just the difference is, I think the Mother-32 comes as a stereo in. The Broken Mini is as mono in, Mofunic, mono jack in, and this one is XLR, of course, but not jack. And this one is stereo output, so that can give a difference in the sound, more louder, even if it is not so loud. But also, it's quieter, but also softer than this one here. But it can. And let's go now. More. I'm gonna give more filter in the Mother-32. 3/4. I go to that analyzer of the Motor-32, so you can see it also in the spectrum analyzer of those filter. Oh, max here. All those fundamentals. All time when you see one jumps like that, that's your fundamental frequency that jumps out, and so you can, it peaks and then it goes, and that's all. Then you think it's steps, but it don't. That's not a step. It's just the frequency goes second, third, fifth. They come closer and closer. And now do it the same thing, but it's not open, full open. So on the oh, that jump is also here. That's not to do with the synth. It's just because I record that note. I'm not gonna, because it's not the same here. The cutoff is not the same. Spectrum analyzer here. Open it. Yes, so we can see it also. You will hear more steps here. Even without fundamentals, you're gonna hear some steps. So first, second, ooh, that's a chord. It does sound very well, but here, you see this one here, 20.3 minus dB. And that's the 13,000K, 13K, almost 13.5K. But if I go to strange that it does that here. Here. It doesn't do that here. If we go back to that analyzer, you see there are more. And this one, I think it stays stuck in the plugin, but here it goes further. Open, full open now. Oh, look how high. More. Right here. Oh, that lower end here. That sounds so. And then we are going to do the same thing now here on the broken mini. Turn it on and turn it full open, crank it open, and then we will see if we can get the same high and low end as the Motor-32. Okay, that's the spectrum analyzer for that. Close first. Let's see what it does. Oh. I don't need even. I don't ever need even to try to replicate this filter here does not do what a Moog filter does. The Moog filter starts from here, very low, and very analog sound, very low, and it goes without any steps or something, very nice, and it gives you that low end that you need. And this one starts here at how many hertz? 135. That's where it starts. That's not a low end. Low end comes here under the 100. It doesn't do that. So bass and everything is like here. So it starts very high. So I don't hear that low end here. So I'm gonna unmute it so you can hear it with me. Where is that low end? You don't have it? And also no high end. So the high end is gone, the low end is gone. It doesn't do what the Moog, an analog filter, will do. Do the same thing now with the Moog again, so you can hear and see it for yourself. So before we go into that Moog, this here from 14K, there is when you open it full open, it stops on 40K. That's it, 40.5K, and then it's gone. It falls off. And when you close the filter, that's the last, and it's gone. So the lowest that you have here is 100 hertz. That's the lowest, and that's it, and it falls off. It's gone. Do the same thing now with an analog synthesizer, an analog filter. And let's open this filter again. You see it here, how many low end it is. You can hear a little bit this one here. You can hear it a little bit, but this you cannot hear it. If you hear that, then you're maybe an animal that can, like an elephant or a whale, can hear those low ends. But humans, they cannot hear those low ends. From now I can hear it. Now I can hear it, and this one is a 25 hertz. I can hear that. If you're on speakers or on headphones, you can hear it also. Certainly now. Here. And it goes and it goes and it goes. Doesn't stop. Doesn't stop. It goes further. Doesn't stop. It won't stop till the end. So, what does that mean? That means that you cannot produce the same sound on that plugin as on a real Moog filter and waveforms. The waveform, the sawtooth was very, I compared it with the sawtooth because it was the closest to the real thing. But if you want to create now a patch and you want to have that same sound, if you don't have those frequencies that you need to have that to produce that sound, then it cannot be. Does the Broken Mini sounds bad? No, certainly not. It's a free plugin. But does it match the filter and the waveforms? Certainly not. So is it a bad synth? Certainly not. But is it a real recreation. No, it doesn't. It isn't. And my question also is, does all those other digital plugins, even paid, produce the same sound, filter sound as on an analog? That's always my question. I did that with the Prophet 5 and his plugin search. Which one was that? The plugin from Prophet 5. GeForce was from GeForce, the plugin from GeForce, and one patch that matches with that synth, and all the rest was. And I think it has to do with that digital filter that they program. I don't know why they cannot program it so it can go from the highest end till the lowest end. Though, like I said, you can see it when you're using that. I'm gonna show you once again the spectrum from the broken mini, where it stops and where it starts. So full open, it doesn't start from the beginning. When it's closed, you don't have nothing, zero. Here a little bit here, and you hear a little bit, but then open, and from there it starts. So here it's gone. And then it stops here, and all the rest is gone. There is no high end here, no low end here, so you miss a lot of your frequencies that you need to have, I think, for producing that sounds. So then do the same thing here. Mute this one. Do the same thing here. That's a spectrum analyzer from the. Once again, you see it, you have lots of other frequency here in the low end. So it will start from here also. As you see, it starts and it begins to rise also. All those frequencies, you don't have that on that plugin. And it goes and it goes and it doesn't stop till the end. That's how a nice filter must sound and must look at on a spectrum analyzer. So that done. So let's try to create one patch as the end of this live stream and try to match the sound. But as you know, if the filter is not exactly the same, you miss lots of low end, lots of high end, then it will be difficult. We can go in the middle. It can produce, I think, almost identical sounds, but and certainly with that sawtooth, with the square wave, I don't think so, because there is a difference. There's more high end here, more frequencies in the high end than on this one, on the mini broken mini. So I don't think it can be recreated. So let's start first on the broken mini, and then, or maybe better, we can start gonna turn that off. Oh. Oh. Hi, Moog Addict. Welcome to the chat. First time, I think. We are comparing here. Ah, vous parlez aussi français, je crois. Salut les gens. We have here some Frenchmen from Paris and also one from Spain. And we are gonna stop this here because it's so we just compare those sounds from a real Moog and a plugin. Oui, je crois, oui, je sais. Je vois ton nom, ça, Moog Addict. So I subscribe those very nice group also. A very cool group. To be honest, I'm glad you're here because there is a difference between those plugins. They sound very well, but the real thing, it does something more than those plugins. They try to recreate that. They do their best, but to match the filter of a Moog or even the waveforms, an analog is something is always, in my opinion, it sounds nicer and warmer, and it has something that a digital almost cannot recreate it. Or maybe if a lot of people program those synths very well, maybe they can. So now I will try to recreate a patch on the Mother-32 and try to reproduce that on the Mini Broken Mini. So can it match a patch? Yes or no? We will see. No, I must. Vous avez presque 100%. Vous avez presque 100% raison, c'est ça. I'm also more for the hardware than for the software, but sometimes if you don't have the money to buy or the place to set all those hardware, then some of those software can be interesting to use. Certainly when you're in a mix, you don't hear it, but when you're on headphones, and there is a big difference. There is a big difference. But thank you for your opinion. You're also a specialist in those Moog synths. And which synths do you have at home or in your studio, of course? I had other Moogs in my studio before, so. First, I'm going to program something in my DAW. I'm going to program something that I can play always on both of the synths, so we can compare those. So I try to recreate that patch. But till now, there is a big difference between those two. The plugin, it has one of those waveforms are different, more less high end in the square wave, and the filter is certainly not the Moog filter. Certainly not. It misses lots of frequencies in the high and also in the low. All that low, very low end sound that you like, that you don't have that on that plugin. Okay, nice. A Mini Moog Model D from that's one of my synths that I have on my bucket list, the Model D. But I hear there are lots of difference in those Model Ds. Certainly, that depends when it built. Yours is from 1973. That's another filter, I think, than the later ones, and then the Rev 1, Rev 2, I think, is also different. And the latest now that you can buy, the new one, are also not similar as the older one. Does that so? In your opinion, which one do I must buy, or do you think that's the best of which area of the Mini Moog are the best sounding Mini Moogs? Because there is a difference in those in the sound I heard of before. Meanwhile, I'm going to program something here. Okay, you changed the board. I thought the Rev 2 are very one of those most stable oscillators, I think. Was that so? What I thought the first oscillators were quite unstable, but I think the latest one were more stable than the first. But the price of those synths, they go through the roof. So let's let's create something here. If you want to. The 70s, okay. That's a nice tip that I can take with me. So there are two synths that I want to have certainly in my studio, and that's the Mini Moog. Well, one day I'm gonna have that. I know, even if it's the Rev 3, the latest one, I don't care. But I must have a Mini Moog, and also the Juno 6 and 16. But that synth, I'm gonna have that. I think maybe this year or maybe next year I'm gonna buy me that. Certainly, because I'm looking now for one. So the Juno 6 or 16 or one of those two I must have. And the next one is then the Mini Moog, and I'm gonna sell then this Mother-32, and also I'm gonna sell maybe that ARP Odyssey that I have, just to have that money to buy me a Mini Moog, and also to create some place because I need some space for those synths. That's also if I don't have so many space here, so that's always maybe better like that, because otherwise you're gonna fill that room with lots of synth, and that's also expensive. Lots of money that you spend on those synths. So I'm glad I don't have too much room, so I can always, when I buy something, I must sell something else. But I think the Mini Moog can replace then my ARP Odyssey. Even I love that sound of the ARP Odyssey. That's the Mini Moog and the ARP Odyssey are two. How do you say it? They are in those time they came out around the same time. It was, I think, ARP that created that synth because Moog created the Mini Moog, or was it otherwise? I don't know. But the counterpart of those two synths. So that's the only thing that I don't know if I'm gonna sell that ARP or not, just to have that money for buying a Moog a Mini Moog, of course. Those are the two synths that I must have, and maybe later an OB8, but that's not certain. But those two, that's 100% certain that I wanna buy me those. And this one that I have here, the Mother-32, is one from built in the USA. So the new one are not built in the USA, I thought. I don't care if I cannot save the. I don't care. I don't MIDI. Maybe that's okay, but I can go to another synth with my gate, and you have your out gate. I think I can do that with that. But on a Mini Moog, to create a patch, that doesn't take long. That doesn't take. I did that on a Model D. It was easy. It didn't take much of time. It was very fast done. So I don't care if it does have that memory patches. I don't care. You can create a patch in 1 minute. You have a patch. Yes, me too. Certainly that filter of the Oberheim, that sound, those oscillators also. Those are the specific sound: Mini Moog, Oberheim, Juno sounds. And then, of course, my Prophet 5 that I have here. And one other synth I'm never gonna... also my Korg MS-20. That's also very specific. So that's why maybe I'm gonna sell my ARP Odyssey to change that with a Mini Moog. So let's try to create here something so we can broken mini like that, something small, and for my we are going into the okay. The filter is open, so I'm gonna turn that filter down just to create something. Just to have something to create. Copy that and paste that on. Oh, that was the sound of. I don't need. You see, you can. This DAW is so interesting. I have here a MIDI sound when I, but from a plugin. When I go it down, I can make it an audio sound. So that's so. I like this DAW. It's very interesting. Let's hear it. It does it again, but I don't need. I need it. Why does it do that always? Oh my God. That was not the case. I don't need that sound because now it's. Why does it do that? Oh. Strange. Turn that off. It does it again. Something is on, but what does it? Why does it do it? It makes it always an audio file, but I don't need. Oh, okay, I see why. Excuse me, because I'm an audio. I'm on an audio file. So now I'm gonna choose this one as my mother. All outputs is Mother-32, and now it will go to cut and paste. Now here, double here, turn it off. So normally it will play both playing. That's the broken MIDI. Okay. Gonna use the sawtooth because that's the closest sound that matches the synth. I'm gonna equalize something here because it's. less of cutoff, then a little bit of resonance. So that's the sound that it's that we are creating. I'm gonna set my, because it's not on my, yes. I'll go back. Okay, now it's it doesn't do it again. Studio Pro, yeah, it's okay. Transpose, software control, change again. So that's what I created. So we can also that's the when I'm using the LFO, but I'm gonna something like that. Let's see and try to recreate that with that. I'm gonna copy this one here, delete this one. So I'm gonna set this synth also almost the same thing, almost. So a little bit of resonance here. Then on a mini Moog they call it not a resonance but an emphasis. Almost close. The amount it's certainly open. I'm not gonna use let's hear. Decay. There is a difference here. You have one for the filter, one for the oscillator. So I must do the same thing on both because I'm using both. So that's keyboard track. You don't use. Just do as I did it here on the. So a little bit of attack, not too much. So less, more. Not the same. again. Listen to what I did. Oh. Not the same. More. The beginning is come close. It doesn't sound bad, certainly not, because with this one, listen again to the other one. More. I think I come close now. Not so close, but that's the Mother-32, and that's the sharpness in this and the Mother-32 was so that's almost so. On the Mother-32 there is some that's without, that's with resonance. And here it's close, there is no resonance, so and then it will match. Oh, excuse me, I was that does. I think I got it. So, can you recreate a patch? Yes, if you use the same waveform, then you can recreate a patch on that broken mini, and it comes close to the Moog, but it doesn't. It is not a Moog, but give it a little bit some, add some reverb on it, and also some. That's a little bit of reverb, and of course the chorus. So I'm gonna make from this synth an audio file from I know how to do that. That's easy. And I'm going to set it here on the other C so it can play along with. I don't need it now. So this one then will be here. Also a little bit same effects. Let's hear what it does. You're hearing now the plugin. And now, oh, that's the plugin. No, this one must turn off. That's the plugin. Turn on the volume, of course, of that. And here also, that's gonna bring it up next to each other so you can hear the difference. And if I can add the effects here on the in the DAW instead of open. Chorus also. Reverb phaser. Where is the chorus here? That's the it's not the same as the effects on my table are the same, but it does. It's different. There is a difference. And if I take the same effect here, that's better. So cannot have the same sound because I don't use the same effects here as on the table. But without those effects, if I turn those effects off, and the same thing here, then it matches very well. That's just without effects. And close that. That's the hardware synth. And that's the plugin. So it comes close, but it stays. There is a difference. Maybe. You hear there is less mid and high end on this synth as we saw it in the beginning of the live stream. There was, you missed those frequencies. Again. Come close. What do you think? What is your opinion about this sound? So, as a conclusion, certainly, if I'm honest, so I record the sound so I can hear. That's a record version. So if I take this one and set it here, so it's recorded, so I can use the same effects. And then you hear there's also without effect. There is more low end. So to change that, I must go to my equalizer, set it on, and turn off the low end. Match that. That's better. So now it comes close because I filtered a little bit with the equalizer. there is a difference, but then with the effects on both. Come close. That's the broken mini. That's the so feel free to give me your opinion and what do you think. So my conclusion is: does this broken mini produce the same sound as a real Moog? No, because like I said, the waveforms were not exactly. Certainly, the square wave is missing some frequencies. The sawtooth was okay, was very close, almost identical. But then the biggest difference is, of course, in the filter. Lots of loss of frequencies in the high and also in the low. So if you combine those, if I change it now in a square wave, so then there will be a bigger difference, because there is also lots of frequency that gone. So going back to here instead of here, that's now the square wave of the broken mini, and that's the square wave of the okay, without the effects, of course. Oh no, that's different. This one is, excuse me. This one is now with the square wave. There is a difference, but it comes close. So I thought there will be more difference, but it's okay. So filter is certainly not the same, and that makes, of course, the big part of your sound. So do I recommend this synth? Certainly yes, because it sounds okay. It sounds good. You can use it, can add some effects on. It can be a nice edit in your DAWs to have that Moog sound. But does it make that sound of the Moog sound? Does it have the same feeling as the filter of the Moog? Certainly not. No, certainly not. So, but of course, this one costs more than 500, 600 euros. I think this one is for free, but that's not the issue. I think it's just, the digital can create super nice sounding synths, but it doesn't replace that analog synths, that the real thing. That's my end conclusion about this. Two synths that I compare with each other, just to hear there was difference. But like I said, there are some very nice synths and plugins that can create that analog synth sound. And I have those here in my studio. I have also those videos that you can watch. So feel free to go there and watch them so you can see there is some interesting. But I'm certainly glad with this mini Moog. It come close, but not very close, but close. and it's good enough for me to stay in my DAW, so maybe I can use it sometimes. But if we want to have that Moog sound, I'm using then this Mother-32. That's my end conclusion. So for everybody who came to the live stream and also came to the channel, also those who came gave a comment in the chat, thank you, Moog Addict. That's a group on Facebook, Moog Addict. Go and watch that group. That's a very interesting group. Lots of on everything about Moogs, of course. That's and who are addicted about Moogs. So go and visit that group, Facebook group on Facebook, of course. Thank you for the visit, Moog Addicted. Excuse me for that name, Addicted. It's a nice name for a group, of course. Thank you, Seb, of course, for the visit, and also Ezequiel, thank you for the visit. Also, thank you, Sinfan, and those were the visitors for today, and also all the others who came and visited the channel and watched the channel. So thank you a lot. Feel free to like and subscribe, of course. Don't forget that. And also, if you have something to say, just leave it in a comment below, or even in the chat. I'm gonna leave it a little bit open that long. It stays a little bit open, so you can, if you have something to say, just say it. And otherwise, you can do it in the comments below. So thank you all. I think next live stream is Saturday, and it will be a jam, I think. And then it will I think the week after, I'm gonna create a video, one of my double bass. I'm gonna record something. That's the next video, but it will be then not a live stream, but a video that I'm gonna bring out. But the next live stream is Saturday, and then the week after. So thank you all and take care, and I will see you next time on another live stream or in another video. Goodbye.